Hello, everybody, and welcome to Humboldt Crabs Baseball on the Road. We are here at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California, as your Humboldt Crabs take on the Lincoln Potters in Game 2 of this 3-game series. I'm Liam Warner. I'll be taking you through all the action tonight. I mean, what a game last night for the Crabs. They have shown some incredible grit and fight all season. They have earned that nickname, the Cardiac Crabs, and last night it went 2-2 into the 10th inning. The Crabs got one in the top of the 10th. The Potters got one in the bottom of the 10th. It went to the 11th. In the top of the 11th inning, Liam Forsythe with an RBI double to make it 4-3. Timmy Reed with a huge hit out into the left center field gap to make it 5-3. And then they were able to close it out in the bottom of the 11th inning and get the job done, getting their second win on this road trip and their first win here in Lincoln in a pretty long time, just like in Healdsburg on Wednesday night. Let me give you the starting lineup for your visiting Humboldt Crabs. Leading off for the Crabs will be the third baseman, Keenan Morris. Batting second will be the center fielder, Timmy Reed. Batting third will be the second baseman, Cameron Sewell. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter, Adam Enyart. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, Tyler Howard. Batting sixth will be the first baseman, Houston Hirschkorn. Batting seventh will be the left fielder, Sutter Moss. Batting eighth will be the shortstop, Elijah McNeil. Batting ninth will be the catcher, Nico Lombardi. And on the mound for the Crabs, making his first start of the season, Jonah Fragus. And I'll give you the Lincoln Potters defensively in just a second, but it's going to be Will Yeary on the mound for the Potters. We are just about to get started. Keenan Morris about to step into the box. If last night's game was any indication, tonight should be a good one as well. First pitch of the ball game is a fly ball out to center field. Williams, the center fielder, going back at center field. And it is off the top of the wall, and Keenan Morris is going to have a leadoff double. He almost hit that one out. I mean, that just sailed over the center fielder, Brian Williams' head. And I thought for a second that hit above the fence, but it hit the very top of the fence. And what a great start for the Crabs. That's going to bring in Timmy Reed. Timmy Reed, who was batting eighth last night, got that big hit in the top of the 11th inning, as I was saying just a bit ago. And now he is in the two-hole. So Robin Guyver rewarding him for that big hit last night. Pitch to Reed. Misses outside 1-0. For the Potters defensively, in the outfield left to right will be Braden Sharp in left, Brian Williams in center, Jake Lavin in right. One 0 is low, 2-0. Left to right in the infield, Tristan Russell at third, Zach Story at short, Ryan Lee at second, Ty McGraw at first. Aiden Chang is behind the plate. As I mentioned earlier, Will Yeary on the mound for the Potters. Two 0, misses high and outside, and it's 3-0 to Timmy Reed. A really important game tonight for the Crabs, because if they win tonight, that will guarantee them a 500 road trip. And if you ask the coaches, what the goal was at the start of the road trip, it was definitely to come out of this road trip 3-3. 3-0 is in there for a call strike 3-1. Obviously, you want to go 6-0, but with the caliber of teams that Healdsburg and Lincoln have, going 500 is definitely a big accomplishment, and much better than the 0-6 that they went on the same road trip last season. 3-1 is fouled off to the left, and the count goes full 3-2. Another beautiful night here in Lincoln. The temperatures have just been super mild this entire series. I mean, a team hotel in Roseville, and the temperature only really got into the high 70s midday. And here in Lincoln, it's just a very comfortable night. 3-2 is a high chopper to the Potters second baseman. He fields it, throws on to first, one away. On the play, Keenan Morris goes over to third. So runner at third with one out. That's going to bring in Cameron Sewell.
Now batting for the Crabs, number 11, second baseman Cameron Sewell.
By the way, the starting lineups, as always, brought to you by Compass Community Credit Union and the North Coast Co-op. First pitch to Sewell is a high drive out to right field. The right fielder looking up, converging on it. It's going to hit off the fence. Keenan Morris is going to cruise in from third, and an RBI double for Cameron Sewell, and the Crabs take the lead 1-0. For the second straight game, they strike first in the top of the first. So now let's go bring in Adam Enyart, who closed out the game last night on the mound. And in addition to being great on the mound, has been one of the Crabs' best hitters. Leads the team in RBIs, also leads the team in home runs, 22 RBIs and 5 home runs. Crabs looking to add on here. First pitch to Enyart. Check swing. Peels down to the umpire at second base, and he rules that he went around. So it's 0-1. One pitch, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Yuri spins around and looks Sewell back to second. (0-2) is sprayed foul off to the right. Do it again, 0-2.
Foul ball sponsored by Lars Ronson with Northwestern Mutual, helping you live your best life with a financial plan to get you where you want to be.
0-2 is a high chopper over the head of the third baseman, goes to the shortstop. A long throw across his body is not going to be in time, and that's going to be an infield single for Adam Enyart. Just a high chopper past the third baseman. The shortstop Story had to field it deep in the hole and really did not have much of a chance. So first and third with one out. Chance for the Crabs to add on to their one-run lead here on the top of the first. That's going to bring in Tyler Howard. First pitch to Howard, high and outside, 1-0. Spin and throw to first. And Enyart's back in safely.
And the only prescription is more cowbell.
1-0, low, 2-0. Infield for the Potters is in all the way around. I would say at the cut of the grass, but there is no grass here at McBean Stadium. It is all turf. Two misses outside, 3-0. Just green-colored turf and brown-colored turf. There is actually no dirt anywhere on the field at McBean Stadium. So when I say in the dirt, I'm actually referring to the area of brown turf around home plate. 3-0. Right down the middle for a called strike, and it's 3-1.
All right, come on. Who brought those cowbells? We need to hear them right about now.
3-1 is a slow grounder to the third baseman. He gloves it. Throw on to first. A good pick by the first baseman, McGraw, to get the out. But on the play, Cameron Sewell comes in from third, and your Crabs lead 2-0. So Tyler Howard getting the job done. That slow grounder.
And now batting for Humboldt, number 22, first baseman Houston Hirschhorn.
And Yard to second on the play, so runner at second with 2 outs, and that's going to bring in Houston Hirschhorn. 2-0 Crabs here in the top of the first. First pitch to Hirschhorn. High and inside, 1-0. Only time the Crabs had a lead of more than 1 last night was in the top of the 11th inning. It'd be nice to build a cushion. The 1-0 is a sharp grinder past the glove of the third baseman and rolls in the left field for a base hit. Enyart rounding third. He's going to score, and the Crabs lead 3-0. And I assume that's going to be a RBI single for Houston Hirschhorn. That was hit pretty hard. We'll see what the official scorer says. Would have been tough for the third baseman to make that play. Runner at first, 2 outs. And a 3-0 Crabs lead here in the top of the first inning. I'll bring in Sutter Moss. First pitch to Moss is up high, 1-0. Dream start for the Crabs. I mean, not only do they score in the first inning, which they've done a few games on this road trip, but they actually build a little bit of a cushion here to start the game, which is very important. The 1-0 is a slow grounder to the third baseman, Russell. Throw on to first, and that's going to do it for the Crabs here in the top of the first, but not before they get 3 runs. It is Crabs 3. Potters coming up in the bottom of the first. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, ESPN Radio 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the first inning. It is Crabs 3. Lincoln Potters coming up here in the bottom of the first. Let me set the Crabs defensively. Left to right in the outfield. Sutter Moss will be in left. Timmy Reed will be in center. Tyler Howard in right. Left to right in the infield. Keenan Morris at third. Elijah McNeil at short. Cameron Sewell at second. Houston Hirschhorn at first. Nico Lombardi is behind the plate, and making his first start as a Crab is number 19, Jonah Fragus. And let's see what he's done so far in relief. He's appeared in 2 games. 3 2/3 innings pitched. In those 3 2/3 innings, he's given up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and an ERA of 0. So pretty good numbers. It kind of makes sense with the 6-game week that there would be 1 or 2 pitchers called into starting service that would otherwise not normally be starting games. And of course, there are a couple of blowouts in Healdsburg where more pitching had to be used. So Ryan Lee will lead it off for the Potters. I'll give you the rest of the Potters lineup in just a second. First pitch to Lee is swung on and missed 0-1. Second baseman Ryan Lee's at the plate. Batting second will be the center fielder Brian Williams Jr. Batting third will be the first baseman Ty McGraw. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter Adam Paniagua. The 0-1 is swung on and missed again, 0-2. Batting fifth will be the left fielder Braden Sharp, who came in relief last night on the mound. Batting sixth will be the third baseman Tristan Russell. Batting seventh will be the shortstop Zach Story. Batting eighth will be the catcher Aiden Chang. Batting ninth will be the right fielder Jake Lavin. 0-2 misses up high, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. It's a great start for Jonah Fragus. 1 away. That's going to bring in Brian Williams Jr. I know Jonah Fragus' parents are here tonight. Said hi to them before the game. He definitely wants to have a good showing here in Lincoln, especially after his team gave him 3 runs. Start off the game. Pitch to Williams is low and outside, 1-0. Misses inside, and it's 2-0. Pitch is a high chopper down the third base line, foul. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Ooh, it's pretty close, but missed inside. 3-1, and actually missed just high, according to the TrackMan. Three-one pitch. And it's a called strike on the corner. Count goes to 3-2. Williams was about to drop his bat and head down to first. According to TrackMan, that just caught a piece of the corner, so. Three-two pitch in the dirt ball 4. Williams walks. Runner at first, 1 out. I'll bring in Ty McGraw.
And now batting for your Lincoln Potters, first baseman from Troy University, Ty McGraw.
First pitch to McGraw is fouled back, and it's 0-1. Runner goes, 0-1 is outside, and a great jump by Williams, and catcher Lombardi's not going to even throw down to second. So Williams swipes the bag Runner at second with 1 out. 1-1 count to Ty McGraw. And now Nico Lombardi is going to go out to talk to his pitcher, Jonah Fragus. Give me a chance to let you know that Crabs Baseball is brought to you by Baywood Golf and Country Club. Also by Big Blue Cafe. Visit the Crabs' favorite, the Big Blue Cafe on the plaza in Arcata, serving breakfast and lunch all day. Welcome home to the Big Blue. And by Crestmark Millwork. Crestmark Millwork is a local manufacturer of custom cabinetry and millwork for commercial projects throughout California and Oregon, creating signature elements of extraordinary spaces since 1997. Crestmark is committed to promoting a healthy and productive society by investing in the relationships with our employees, local communities, suppliers, and customers. Pitch to McGraw. In there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Or 1-2, sorry. One-two pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Great pitch from Fragus. Looked like a breaking ball.
And now batting for your Lincoln Pirates, designated hitter from Rutgers University, Adam Paniagua.
Let's bring in Adam Paniagua. All right, second, 2 down. Runner goes from second. The pitch is in the dirt, and again, Nico Lombardi's not going to have a play. Williams steals third. So now runner at third with 2 outs. One 0. Misses inside, and it's 2-0. Two-0 pitch is a high fly ball out to left. Moss shielding his eyes, and I think that went foul. 2-1. I lost the ball, and I think Sutter Moss, the left fielder, lost the ball as well. Two and one. Pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Lombardi, and coming in to score is Brian Williams Jr., and it's 3-1. Brian Williams' speed gets the Potters the run here in the bottom of the first. 2 stolen bases, and then the wild pitch brings him home. Three one, check swing, did he go? He did not, no appeal. We'll head down to first, it's ball 4. On our first with 2 outs, that'll bring in Braden Sharp, who, as I mentioned earlier, pitched in relief last night and was really good. He pitched a couple of scoreless innings. This pitch to Sharp is lined and caught by the first baseman, Houston Hirschkorn. What a play, just reached up and made a very nice catch. That's going to do it here in the bottom of the first. The Crabs lead the Potters 3-1 as we head to the second. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, ESPN Radio 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln, top of the second inning. The Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 3-1. Due up for the Crabs, it will be Elijah McNeil, Nico Lombardi, and Keenan Morris against Will Yeary.
And leading off for the Crabs, number 1, shortstop Elijah McNeil.
Christian McNeil is a fly ball out to right field. Coming in and making the catch is the right fielder Lavin, one away. And I'll bring in Nico Lombardi.
And now batting for the Crabs, number 28, catcher Nico Lombardi.
Lombardi just stepping into the box. First pitch to Lombardi is swung on and foul tipped to the plate, and it's 0-1.
You know, I see the Chick-fil-A cow, and so you know what that means.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
0-1, misses outside, and it's 1-1. One is popped straight up behind home plate, and that's going to drop right onto the tarp right above me. And it's 1-2. That would have come pretty close to hitting me in the top of the head if the tarp covering the seating area was not there. Would have had to make a play. One, two, misses just outside, and it's 2-2. Never been to McBean Stadium before. It is all covered. The entire seating area is covered by a tarp, so you're out of the sun. Saved me from getting hit by a foul ball. The 2-2 is off the knob of the bat to the third baseman. Russell throws on to first, 2 away. Now bring in the top of the order, and Keenan Morris, who hit a deep double out to left field that almost went out. For a second, I thought it did go out, but hit the very top of the fence. That's definitely the closest Keenan Morris has gotten to getting a home run, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't have any home runs on the season, so for sure is the closest he's gotten. The pitch is inside, 1-0. With the warm weather here in greater Sacramento region, the ball does fly. The 1-0 in there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Not a whole lot of wind out in the outfield. The flag out in left center field is limp. Last night there was a pretty stiff wind blowing at least around the seating area in the stadium. But the wind out in the outfield was pretty light, and that's a light line drive that's booted by the shortstop, and it'll go into left field. I imagine that's going to be an error on Zach Story. It was hit right at him and just couldn't make the play. It was a tough hop, but I imagine it's going to be called an error, although that is up to the official scorer here in Lincoln. Now I'll bring in Timmy Reed. We're at first of 2 outs. Mr. Reed is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Throw to first, and Morris is back in safely. Time is called. The 0-1, right down the middle for a called strike, 0-2. Reed checked his swing. It was a strike anyway. Oh, 2 pitch, misses outside 1-2. One-two pitch is a fly ball out to left field. The left fielder racing over towards the wall, and that ball is gone. Timmy Reed with a 2-run shot to left. He is on fire here in Lincoln, and the Crabs lead it 5-1. Have a series, Timmy Reed. I mean, he has not had great offensive numbers this season coming into this series here in Lincoln, but man, he has caught fire. A deep double in the 11th inning to bring in the second run, making it 5-3, and a 2-run shot out to left, making it 5-1 in favor of your Humboldt Crabs. Cameron Sewell steps in, pitches outside 1-0. Ball is some serious carry tonight. Pitch is inside 2-0. I didn't think that was going to go out. I just carried right out of here, out to left field. 2-0 is low, and it's 3-0. What a dream start for the Crabs here in game 2 of this series. .30 in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1. Scoreboard showing 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, and the total score is 4-1. 3-1 is in there for a called strike. 3-2. The math is not quite mathing on the scoreboard tonight. Three-two pitch is a ground ball to the second baseman. Ryan Lee picks it up, throws to first, and that's going to do it here in the top of the second. But Timmy Reed with a 2-run shot to left field, making it 5-1 Crabs. As we head to the bottom of the second inning, you're listening to exciting Crabs baseball on ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the second inning. Your Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1 after a 2-run homer from Timmy Reed in the top of the second inning. Crabs are off to a dream start here in Lincoln, but still a long way to go. Crabs Baseball is brought to you by Cypress Cove Cheese. Cypress Cove is the leading producer of delicious artisan goat cheese, including Humboldt Fog, one of the most famous cheeses in the country, proudly based in Arcata, California. Cypress Cove cheeses are available at cheese shops and grocery stores nationwide and online at cypresscovecheese.com. There's nothing like that Humboldt Fog feeling. Crabs will experience that Humboldt Fog once again on Tuesday. They return home. Tristan Russell will lead it off for the Potters. Pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Jonah Fragus on the mound. Now the scoreboard's off. 0-1 is swung on and missed, 0-2. Crabs definitely know a lot about scoreboard issues. Although, as I said last night on the broadcast, Brant Electric did a great job before this season, making it work pretty well. 0-2 is a called strike 3 right on the lower outside corner. One away. That's going to bring in Zach Story, who I'm probably going to call Trevor Story at least once. Tamara, the Crabs Queen, just sent me a great text not that long ago. I'll share it in a second. Just a story outside want to know. After Timmy Reed hit that home run, she said that will teach them to make Timmy the dog batter of the game. Timmy Reed was the dog batter of the game last night. Then he hits the RBI in the top of the 11th to make it 5-3. The pitch is outside 2-0. And then the 2-run homer today. Lincoln Potter's done messed up with that. 2-0 is a little nubber down the first base line. Coming in and fielding it is Hirschkorn. He'll step on the bag. 2 away. Quite a few Crabs fans here in the house. My grandparents, they made the trip over to Lincoln from Vacaville, and they are diehard Crabs fans. And I know Jonah Fragus' parents are here. Hear lots of good noise when the Crabs do something good, so good Crabs representation here tonight at McBean on a Saturday night. Pitch to Aiden Chang. He's in there for a called strike, 0-1. The one pitch, that hits Chang right on the back. So he's going to head down to first with 2 away. He's going to bring in Jake Lavin. Now the scoreboard, by the way, says 3-1, which is not the correct score. 5-1 Crabs here in the bottom of the second inning. I know they're trying to fix it, though. The numbers keep changing up there. Pitch to Lavin is low, 1-0. One-0 is high and outside, 2-0. Two-0 is high and outside, and it's 3-0. And therefore called strike, and it's 3-1. 3-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. Count goes full. 3-2. Three-two pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is hit down the first base line, right to the first baseman, Houston Hirschkorn, who will step on the bag, and that's going to do it for the Crabs here in the bottom of the second inning. They lead 5-1 as we head to the top of the third. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball on Humboldt's ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Placer County, top of the third inning. Crabs lead the Lincoln Potters by a score of 5-1. Crabs Baseball is brought to you by Charleston Tree Services. We're here to help with your growing concerns. Our locally owned and operated family business has served homeowners and commercial property owners throughout Humboldt County since 2007, and by Compass Community Credit Union. Hey, Crabs fans, team sponsor Compass Community Credit Union is happy to point you towards a better banking experience. Visit their conveniently located branches in Arcata and Eureka, or online at compassccu.org. That's compassccu.org. And also by the North Coast Co-op. The pitcher in the game for the Potters is number 2, Quentin Marsh, who was in the starting lineup last night. Now on the mound, we had somebody who was on the mound last night who's in the starting lineup tonight. So quite a bit of crossover for the Potters. Do it for the Crabs. It will be Enyart, Howard, and Hirschkorn. So now there's a meeting on the mound. We'll thank another one of our sponsors, North Coast Mercantile, family owned and operated, serving Humboldt County since 1951. North Coast Mercantile brings you a fantastic assortment of domestic, import, and craft beers, as well as wine, spirits, non-alcoholic beverages, and snacks. Check out the North Coast Mercantile's Titus trailer in the right field beer garden in the Arcata Ballpark. 8 taps featuring local microbrews, wine, and cider. We are ready to get going now. Here in the top of the third. First pitch to Enyart is sprayed foul off to the right. And it's 0-1. Lots of Little Leaguers in the park tonight. They were hosting some sort of event when me and the team got here around 4 o'clock. Or more around like 4:45, 5. Pitches swung on and missed. 0-2. A lot of them are from the Roseville Little League. O2's in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher. Nobody on base. It's 1-2. Good thing I'm keeping my own count, because now the scoreboard is completely off. They did say that they were close to putting in a new scoreboard, so maybe we'll see that next year. The 1-2 misses outside, and it's 2-2. Really, though, McBean Stadium is a very nice place to watch a ball game. Lots of great seating, tons of food options. Food options here are fantastic. The best food options among the road places that we visit. Pitches fouled off to the right, 2-2. Although no disrespect to Dave May and the Medford Rogues. They do a great job with their food as well. There's a lot more variety here, though, I would say. Got Mexican food, your regular ballpark food, shaved ice truck. Took part in that last night. The 2-2 is a grounder off of the glove of the third baseman, and they are not going to have any play on Enyart, and he's going to reach. I would think on an infield single. Pretty slowly hit ground ball. Third baseman Russell had to come in and field. It was not necessarily routine. So for now, I'm calling that an infield single for Enyart to lead off the inning. First pitch is outside to Tyler Howard, 1-0. Oh no, they're calling that an error. So it was borderline. Pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop, flips to second for one, on to first, double play. So they make up for that defensive error there. 2 down.
Well, there's a double play. You know what that means. Yes, indeed. Section 203, row E. You guys won doubles. Courtesy of our friends at In-N-Out Burger. 203, row E. Congratulations.
And that'll bring in Houston Hirschkorn. Nobody on, 2 outs.
Number 22, first baseman Houston Hirschkorn.
First pitch to Hirschkorn. Misses outside, 1-0. One is in the dirt, 2-0. Pitch is a ground ball right to the shortstop. Story picks it up, throws on to first to complete the play, and that's going to do it here in the top of the third. The Crabs go in order, but they lead 5-1. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, you're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the third inning. Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. Due up for the Potters be the top of the order, Lee, Williams Jr., and McGraw. And it's Jonah Fragus making his first start of the season for the Crabs. First pitch to Ryan Lee, lone inside 1-0. Lee hit a home run last night. 1-0 in there for a called strike, 1-1. A no doubter out to left to, at the time, tie up the game at 2. One one's in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. Two one, swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. Two swung on and missed, strike 3. That was a nasty breaking ball from Jonah Fragus, tailing down and away. Made Lee look pretty bad there. 1 out. Let's can bring in Brian Williams Jr. Reached on a walk last time up and then stole second and then stole third and then came home on a wild pitch. He definitely manufactured the 1 run that the Potters have so far. Pitch to Williams, in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. A 1 pitch, lone outside, and it's 1-1. One one's in the dirt, and it's 2-1. Two-one pitch is a high, slow chopper out to the second baseman, who throws on to first. 2 away. Great job by Cameron Sewell. Come in and field that ball smoothly.
And now batting for your Potters, our first baseman from Gardendale.
I'll bring in Ty McGraw.
Ty McGraw.
Pitch to McGraw, misses outside, 1-0. And there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. One. This is outside, and it's 2-1. 2-1 is popped up foul down the left field line. Oh, it's 2-2. Two low and outside. Count goes full. It's 3-2. Three-two, way low and inside, ball 4. McGraw will head down to first with 2 outs. I'll bring in Adam Paniagua.
And now batting for your Lincoln Potters from Phoenix, Arizona, designated hitter Adam Paniagua.
Paniagua's a ground ball right to the second baseman, Sewell, who boots it, but then recovers, picks it up to throw out Paniagua, and that's going to do it here in the third. It is 5-1 Crabs as we head to the top of the fourth inning. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Top of the fourth inning. The Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. Tonight is the Lincoln Potters mascot Piper's birthday, so PA announcer greeting the crowd and happy birthday. I remember a few years ago Piper actually made the trip up to Arcata, and Piper and Krusty had a race. I hope maybe Piper can make the trip up to Arcata this year, but we'll see. For the Crabs, it will be Sutter Moss, Elijah McNeil, and Nico Lombardi against Quentin Marsh. Mr. Moss is popped up foul, not a play. Off to the left, 0-1. I believe Piper is supposed to be a peacock. Well, peacock against a crab, I don't know. I think the crab would win. We'll find out, though, if Piper makes the trip up north. 0-1 is in the dirt, 1-1. One's in the dirt, and it's 2-1. Well, I think Sutter Moss has been designated the dog batter of the game. 2-1 is, tied Sutter Moss up really badly, way high and inside, and he definitely went around at it. 2-2. Last time a Crab hitter was named the dog batter of the game, it was Timmy Reed last night, and many of you know what's happened since then. 2-2, right down the middle, called strike 3, and the fans are happy because they get their half-price beer. That'll bring in Elijah McNeil. Only for the remainder of the inning, not even for the rest of the game. So the fans got to race down to the beer stand. Pitch to McNeil, outside 1-0. Is a ground ball right up the middle past the shortstop for a base hit. So McNeil with the hit with 1 out. That's going to bring in Nico Lombardi.
Now batting for the Crabs, number 28, catcher Nico Lombardi.
Pitch to Lombardi, misses up high, 1-0. One zero. For a called strike, and it's 1-1. Runner goes. The 1-1 is a slow grounder to the shortstop, and he boots it off of his glove, picks it up, throws to first, and will still throw out Lombardi. But McNeil was going on the play, so they had no play on him at second. So runner at second with 2 outs. It's going to bring in Keenan Morris. Morris is low and outside, 1-0. Pitch. Misses inside, 2-0. Two O's in the dirt. Count goes to 3-0. Outside ball 4. So Morris walks on 4 pitches. Make it first and second with 2 outs, and that's going to bring in Timmy Reed, who's had quite the series. Of course, the RBI double last night in the top of the 11th. That made it 5-3. And then his last at bat, a 2-run shot out to left field. Make it what the score is now, 5-1. Coach for the Potters out to talk to his pitcher. Give me a chance to let you know that the Crabs are brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank, strengthening our local communities. Our commitments come to life through our people, programs, and policies. Together, we can make a difference in the communities we serve. I'll take you quickly through some scores from around the Pacific Empire League. In Healdsburg, the Broom Packers are leading the West Coast Kings 3-1. Then up north in Medford, the Medford Rogues lead the Solano Mudcats by a score of 5-4. Crabs will be in Medford in early July. So Timmy Reed's going to step in. Pitch is swung on and missed, 0-1. A 1 in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Oh-2, misses inside, and it's 1-2. And pitch misses just low. Misses inside, 2-2. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's going to do it for the Crabs. Here in the top of the 4th, they lead at 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM. Welcome back, bottom of the 4th inning. Your Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. It will be Sharp, Russell, and Story due up for the Potters against Crabs starter Jonah Fragus.
And now, leading off for your Lincoln Potters, our left fielder from the Woodland, Texas, Brendan Sharp.
First pitch to Braden Sharp is outside 1-0. Check swing. Pitch misses outside. The appeal down to third. He did not go. It's 2-0. 2-0's in the dirt, and it's 3-0. There is some action in the Crabs bullpen. 3-0 is low ball 4, so Sharp works 4-pitch walk. And let's bring in Tristan Russell.
And now batting for your Lincoln Potters, third baseman from the University of Houston, Tristan Russell.
Crabs are in their tie-dye tops tonight. Gray pants. Potters are in their classic white uniforms. Runner goes from first. It's a ground ball right to the shortstop McDeal. He steps on second for one. On to first. Double play. What a great play by Elijah McNeil. The runner Sharp was going on the play. He did not have much time, or was he called out at second? Sharp is standing at second base. I thought the call was out. Now the manager of the Potters is going out to talk to the third base umpire. I don't know if he's arguing there was some sort of interference or obstruction, or just didn't like the call. It was close. I'll give him that. And yeah, the call was out at second. So what a double play by Elijah McNeil. Like I said, he did not have much time to field that ball and step on second. And a very heads-up play.
Now batting for the Potters from Orland, California.
So 2 away. And it's going to bring in Zach Story. Story shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike, 0-1. So I was saying the Potters are in their classic whites with pinstripes. Pitches low, 1-1. Black numbering with orange trim and high orange socks. I think the Potters have a really nice look. I really do like their uniforms. The 1-1 pitches low and outside, 2-1. Love the orange socks. I think that's a great touch. Definitely one of the better uniforms in the PEL. At least they're classic whites. The uniforms they were wearing last night, the 2-1 Mrs. Lowe 3-1. The uniforms they were wearing last night were their special Hispanic Heritage Night jerseys, and they were cool, but there was just a lot going on. Like these ones a lot more. The 3-1 grounded right to Keenan Morris at third, gloves it, throws to first. Keenan Morris makes it look easy, and that's going to do it here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Potters fail to score. The Crabs lead 5-1 as we head to the top of the fifth. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Placer County, top of the fifth inning. Your Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Potters, already the third pitcher of the game here in the fifth. It's Peter Jensen. And he's going to face Sewell, Enyart, and Howard for the Crabs. Take you through some Pacific Empire League scores again. The West Coast Kings have tied it up in Healdsburg. It's 3-3. That game's in the bottom of the seventh. And then the Medford Rogues lead the Solano Mudcats by a score of 8-4. That game's in the bottom of the fifth up in Harriet David Field in Medford. We still have some time, so I'll take you through some scores from around Major League Baseball. The Giants, they played a day game today. I was able to actually watch the game at the hotel. And they won that game by a score of 3-2, and Rafael Devers hit his first home run as a Giant. That was cool to watch live, at least on TV. Great for all the people that were there in San Francisco. And the West Sacramento A's currently trail 4-0, bottom of the fourth inning, not too far away from us at Sutter Health Park. So Sewell will step in, lead off the inning. First pitch to him is outside 1-0. We're at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California, about 30 miles to the northeast of California's state capital of Sacramento. One-0 is popped foul off to the left and out of play. It's 1-1. Crabs will head back to their team hotel in Roseville tonight. And tomorrow at 6:05, final game of the series, final game of the road trip. One time outside, 2-1. It's going to be a really late night and likely early morning for the Crabs tomorrow night, myself included. Crabs play at 6:05 tomorrow. Then after the game, they're going to drive home. Probably get home in the wee hours of the morning. 2-1 is a high drive out to right field, but it's going to be right at the right fielder, Lavin, who makes the catch one away.
Yes, indeed. You
So
know
the Crabs will
that's
need,
what it
will definitely need that off day on Monday.
means here for
Get
the
a good night's sleep on Monday night, and then back at home Tuesday,
head on down to the brick
I
and
believe against the Chico Lone Wolves. Tuesday, Wednesday at the Arcata Ballpark,
now batting for the Crabs.
both at 7 o'clock p.m. Definitely looking forward to being back home. I do love going on the road, doing these road games. It's super fun, but by the end of it, I really do miss the Arcata Ballpark and the Crabgrass Band and the fans. Pitch to Enyart. There for a called strike 0-1. Lincoln Potters do have me set up in a really good spot, right behind home plate, outside. But I do miss being in our booth back at home. Oh, 1, and there for a called strike 0-2. The Professor Benjamin Schaefer will be back when the team returns home as well. If you're already sick of hearing the sound of my voice. Benjamin will be joining me, hopefully, most likely, on the trip to Medford in early July. Though, too, he's popped up at a play off to the right and foul. We'll do it again, 0-2.
That foul ball brought to you by Lowry Flame Associates. Be sure to get Lowry a call for all your real estate needs.
Oh, 2 pitch, misses outside, and it's 1-2. One, two, misses way outside, goes past the catcher. 2-2, nobody on base. Two pitch, fouled straight back to the screen. And 2-2. Adam Enyart was right on that one and seemed a bit frustrated at himself that he didn't get more of it. Two misses way outside and gets past the catcher again. Count goes full 3-2.
And there's the rising zone.
And I think they ruled that Enyart went around. Okay. I was focused on the ball going past the catcher. I didn't see that he went around. Well, that's a tough pitch to swing at. So 2 away. It's going to bring in Tyler Howard. Howard swung on and missed, 0-1. Oh, 1. And there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Lone outside. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Just popped foul, not a play off to the right. We'll do it over. 1-2.
And foul ball brought to you by Sam Burns Lawyers, specializing in DUIs and wanted defense. Give them a call or visit them online. Better call Sam.law.
One-two pitch. Tapped foul off towards the Ponders dugout down the first base line. It's 1-2. Have some sort of zebra mascot now walking around. Wonder if that's from a local high school or something. The Chick-fil-A cow mascot is here as well, for those interested. The 1-2 is low and inside, and it's 2-2. Two pitch, called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate, and that's going to do it for the Crabs here in the top of the 5th, but they lead it 5-1. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, you're listening to Crabs Baseball, Humboldt's ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. Jonah Fragus out for his 5th inning of work. He will face 8, 9, and 1 in the order: Chang, Lavin, and Lee. Crabs looking to take the series tonight, but in addition to that, secure at least a 500 road trip with a win. Pitch hits Chang right on the back. So he's going to head down to first. Only 78 miles per hour, but still hurts, I'm sure. Now bring in Jake Lavin. And there is activity in the Crabs bullpen. Somebody's throwing. Hard to see who it is from where I'm standing. Lavin is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. It's over to first, and it gets away temporarily from Hirschkorn. And I was looking at something else. That might have hit the first base umpire. If so, that's a huge break for the Crabs. Chang was dancing around over at first. Fragus' throw was not a good one. Pitches outside 1-1. 1-1 pitch. This is outside, 2-1. Catcher Lombardi pops up quickly to check Chang at first. Two one misses way outside, and it's 3-1. Time is called. The 3-1 to Lavin. In there for a called strike, and the count goes full, 3-2. Two pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Great pitch from Jonah Fragus, making Lavin chase at a pitch outside. One away, runner at first. Let's bring in the top of the order and Ryan Lee.
And now batting is Warrior Potters, second baseman from UC Davis, Ryan Lee.
Jonah Fragus in the bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. It's only at 67 pitches. That's pretty good. First pitch to Lee is a slow grounder. The shortstop McNeil flips to second for 1. On to first, double play, and that's going to get the Crabs out of the 5th inning. They lead it 5-1 as we head to the top of the 6th. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, Humboldt's ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to McBean Stadium here in Lincoln, California. Your Humboldt Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. And the top of the 6th inning. It will be for the Crabs, Hirschkorn, Moss, and McNeil due up. In a game where the Crabs jumped on the Potters early. 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second. And some great pitching and defense has allowed them to hold on to this 4-run lead so far.
And leading off for the Crabs, number 22, first baseman, Easton Hirschkorn.
First pitch to Hirschkorn. Misses low, 1-0. Pitch is a ground ball to the third baseman. Russell picks it up, throws to first, 1 away. I'll bring in Sutter Moss. right behind home plate, I do see somebody wearing a Dodger cap. However, he does appear to be rooting for the Crabs, so I'll let it slide tonight. Sutter Moss will step in. Pitch to Moss. In there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. They said earlier, quite a few Crabs fans here at McBean Stadium. Jonah Fragus' parents said hi to me earlier. 0-1 is lying outside 1-1. Always great to see family of Crabs players on the road. No, I have family in the house. My grandparents made the trip over from Vacaville, and they are diehard Crabs fans, so. One is a grounder out to shortstop Story, gloves it, throws to first, 2 away. Trip down here to the Sacramento area is a good opportunity for families of Crabs players to see them play. Arcata's a bit of a drive, especially if you live in the Bay or Sacramento or even Southern California. So Lincoln's at least doable for even the SoCal parents. Elijah McNeil will step in. Pitches in the dirt, past the catcher, 1-0, nobody on base. Healdsburg is a bit of a drive. Not a crazy drive from the Bay or Sac, but from LA or San Diego, it's quite a bit. That's why I tend to see a lot of families here. The Crabs come to play in Lincoln. When I was swung on and missed, it's 1-1. See some families go up to Medford too. I know there are some direct flights from Bay Area or LA to the Medford airport, so it's doable by air at least. 1-1, misses outside, and it's 2-1. One in the dirt, and the count goes to 3-1. Pours it in there for a called strike. Count goes full, 3-2.
Come on, let's hear those Cowboys.
Three-two pitch, and did that hit McNeil? Yes, it did. They checked down to the first base umpire to see if he went around. He did check his swing, and he did not. So that is a hit by pitch. Would have been ball 4 anyway, obviously, and McNeil will head down to first. Two-way, they'll bring in Nico Lombardi. The manager of the Potters out to talk to the home plate umpire. Lombardi steps in. I can hear third base coach Jeff Giacomini shouting out some encouragement. Lombardi pitched him, is in there for a call and strike, 0-1. Jeff Giacomini, former Crab, former B-52 as well. third base coach for the Crabs this season. John Bryant, who's been the third base coach the past several seasons, is now the first base coach because he injured his shoulder over the offseason. And the shoulder that he uses in the waving runners. The runner goes, pitch is fouled off to the right, and it's 0-2. So McNeil will have to return to first. So unfortunately, due to that injury, John Bryant has to move over to first base, but Jacko's done a great job over at third. And I know he watches the broadcast afterwards, so. But I would say it either way. Though, too, way high and inside, brushes Lombardi off the plate, 1-2. Runner goes, the 1-2, pitches outside, the throw down to second is offline and dropped by the second baseman, and McNeil will steal second. So runner at second with 2 outs, 2-2 count to Nico Lombardi. Two is popped up right side of the infield, moving into shallow right. The second baseman, Lee, ranges out there to make the catch. That's going to do it here in the 6th. The Crabs strand a runner at second, but they lead 5-1. So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, ESPN Radio 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Placer County. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-1. We have a new pitcher in the game for the Crabs. They haven't announced him yet, but I believe it is number 32, Baylor Sandberg. Let's take you through Baylor's numbers so far. This is his 5th appearance. He has started 3 games, 10 innings pitched, and he's had a bit of a rough start. In those 10 innings, he's given up 15 hits, 15 runs, 12 of those runs are earned, 13 walks, 16 strikeouts. So, I mean, with a 4-run lead, you have a bit of a cushion, but he's going to need to tighten it up a little bit. But that is the whole point of summer collegiate baseball, is to work on your skills, get some innings in. So hopefully Baylor Sandberg can keep the score right where it is. Jonah Fragus, I mean, a fantastic 5 innings. Really did a great job in his first Crabs start. Great defense behind him as well. Nico Lombardi out to talk to Baylor Sandberg now returns to his position. Due up for the Potters, it will be Brian Williams Jr., Ty McGraw, and Adam Paniagua. And the pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Oh, 1, check swing. Did he go? The first base umpire says yes, he did. It's 0-2. Nasty breaking ball from Baylor Sandberg. Fooled Brian Williams pretty badly. Oh, 2 misses way outside. And it's 1-2. Based on the stats, I mean, Baylor Sandberg has 13 walks at 10 innings. If he can have some command, I think things will go well for him. So far, good. 1-2 count, and drops it right down the middle. Called strike 3. There we go. That's how Baylor Sandberg wants to start this inning. 1 away. Let's go bring in Ty McGraw. We have some Crabs that were struggling coming into the series and have done very well. Look at Timmy Reed. I mean, his offensive numbers were not great, and he has had a great series. Pitch to McGraw, blowing outside 1-0. Now, Baylor Sandberg kind of wants to repeat that on the mound. One 0 pitch, in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. One misses outside, and it's 2-1. One swung on and missed. Another filthy pitch from Sandberg. 2-2. The dirt count goes full. 3-2. Inside ball 4. Walk for McGraw. That's going to bring in Adam Paniagua. Do have somebody stretching in the Crabs bullpen, but nobody warming up yet. Adam Paniagua will step in. Pitch to him is in the dirt, 1-0. Meeting on the mound now between Nico Lombardi and Baylor Sandberg Well, give me an opportunity to go over some scores from around the PEL because things have changed. It was now 4-4 between the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the West Coast Kings. That game is in the bottom of the ninth in Healdsburg. And then the Medford Rogues just had a total explosion. They now lead the Solano Mudcats 15-4, bottom of the sixth, and they're still in the bottom of the sixth inning where they've scored 7 runs. One to Paniagua is lined into left field. That's a base hit. Stopping at second will be McGraw. And that, folks, is the first hit of the game for the Lincoln Potters. I didn't want to mention it out of fear of jinxing things, but the Crabs did have a combined no-hitter up until that point.
And now batting for your Lincoln Potters, the left fielder from the University of Tennessee.
It's going to bring in Braden Sharp. First and second with 1 out here at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California. Showing bunt and pitches low, 1-0. One-0 is outside, 2-0, and Baylor Sandberg's starting to lose his command, which is a little bit concerning for the Crabs because he has had command issues all season. Two-0 is in the dirt. Great job by Lombardi to keep the ball in front of him. It's 3-0. No movement in the Crabs bullpen. So this is Sandberg's inning right now. But I think Robin Guyver just made the call to get something going down there. I saw a couple of guys stand up. 3-0, right down the middle for a called strike, and it's 3-1. In there for a called strike. Count goes full, 3-2. Three-two pitch is a ground ball to Keenan Morris, who gloves it on a dive, throws to second for 1. No play at first, but what a great play by Keenan Morris. And I mean, that's pretty much routine for him over at third. I've said this many a time. I mean, he is like Matt Chapman in the way that he just makes really, really unordinary plays look very ordinary. So now that makes it first and third with 2 outs. That's going to bring in Tristan Russell. I mean, it is such a luxury for the Crabs to have somebody like Keenan Morris over at third. First pitch to Russell. High and outside, 1-0. There's somebody throwing in the Crabs bullpen now. The 1-0 misses outside, it's 2-0. It's over to first, and Sharp is back in safely. Runner goes from first. The 2-0 is fouled straight back. And it's 2-1. Sharp will have to return to first base. Two-one pitch is swung on and missed. It's 2-2. Runner goes from first again. The 2-2 is a fly ball out to left field. Moss, it's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. Coming in to score is McGraw, and it is 5-2. Just a little looper out to left, and Moss tried to run it down, but he made the wise decision to not attempt any sort of diving play and let the ball bounce in front of him. First and second, 2 outs. That's going to bring in a pinch hitter, number 24, Jason Hansen, who pinch hit late in the game last night. Runner goes from second, pitches outside, the throw down to third is not going to be in time, and that's going to be a double steal. Sharp to third, Russell to second. I'll make it second and third with 2 outs and a 1-0 count to Jason Hansen. A little more pressure put on the Crabs catcher, Nico Lombardi. One 0, and therefore a called strike, it's 1-1. And with a pitcher like Baylor Sandberg on the mound, who's been wild at times this season, Nico Lombardi's going to have to be on his game behind the plate. One in the dirt. Did he go? He did not. It's 2-1. Baylor Sandberg trying to get out of some trouble here in the 6th inning. 2-1 is popped straight up into the air. Going on to shallow center field is the second baseman, Sewell, who had quite an adventure out there and made the catch in shallow center field. That's going to do it in the 6th for the Potters. They do get a run. The Crabs still lead 5-2 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, ESPN Radio 107.3 FM. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning. Score is 5-2 in favor of the Crabs. Due up for the Crabs. It will be the top of the order, Morris, Reed, and Sewell.
And now leading off for the Crabs, number 9, third baseman Keenan Morris.
Keenan Morris will step in.
Gary, I think you need to go to breathe.
Morris is swung on and missed. And it's 0-1. A 1. Misses up high, and it's 1-1. One misses inside, brushes Morris off the plate. It's 2-1. Hit a booming double out to left field in the top of the first. That almost got out of here. That has made several great plays at third base. Two one, right down the middle for a called strike, 2-2. Tamra, Crabs Queen Tamra, informing me that the West Coast Kings and the Hillsburg Prune Packers have gone to extra innings. That would be a really huge win for the West Coast Kings if they could beat the Prune Packers. Prune Packers are a very good team. 2-2, and Morris loses his bat towards the Lincoln dugout. He does swing and miss, obviously, for strike 3. But flung his bat in the direction of the Potters dugout. So 1 away. It's going to bring in Timmy Reed. Second inning, a 2-run shot out to left field.
And now batting for the Humboldt Crabs, number 3, center fielder Timmy Reed.
Reed shows bunt. It's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 is lashed down the right field line, just foul. And it's 0-2. Time is called by Reed at the plate. The 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. Two away, and that's going to bring in Cameron Sewell. Oh, we've had a new pitcher on the mound. I didn't notice. They never announced it over the PA. But I should have noticed anyway. Number 32, Tanner Warady. Pitch to Sewell in there, or missing. Inside, or outside, 1-0. 1-0 pitch, misses high and outside, 2-0. In there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Low and inside, it's 3-1. Drops it right in there for a called strike, 3-2. Nighttime here in Lincoln. Another very comfortable night. Been a great week of weather for the Crabs on this road trip. Really the best road trip weather I've ever experienced, I think. 3-2. Let's pop foul out of play off to the left, 3-2. I don't think we have gotten over the mid-80s on this whole trip so far. Was mid to upper 70s most of the day, maybe touched 80. Three-2 is lashed right to the first baseman. McGraw will take it to the bag himself. He's going to do it here in the top of the 7th. Crabs fail to score, but they lead it 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln, bottom of the 7th inning. Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-2. Lee Baylor Sandberg is out for his 2nd inning of work. And he will face Chang, Lavin, and Lee here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Crabs trying to secure a series win. And with the win, also guarantee a 500 road trip, which really, given the caliber of the two teams they're facing, given it's their first week of league games, that is definitely success. Of course, even better would be over 500 if they could win tonight and tomorrow. First pitch to Chang is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Oh, 1 misses inside, and it's 1-1. One pitch, check swing, but it's a called strike, and it's 1-2. We'll be back here at McBean Stadium tomorrow, 6:05 start. Final game of this 3-game series, final game of the road trip. 1-2 is hit right in front of the plate. A little dribbler to the pitcher. Sandberg throw to first. One away. That tied up Chang pretty badly. Hit it off the handle of the bat.
And now batting for your Butters.
That's going to bring in Jake Lavin. Crabs will play the final game of the road trip tomorrow, 6:05, and then drive home right after the game. Get in pretty late. Pitch to Lavin up high, 1-0. Then a much needed off day on Monday. One 0 is low and inside, 2-0. Pitch, shows bunt, pulls it back and takes a strike. It's 2-1. Two one is a high drive out to center field. Reed going back at the wall. It is off the base of the wall. Lavin, he's going to put on the brakes at second, and that's going to be a 1-out double. And I think the Crabs are pretty lucky that didn't go out. Sound of the bat sounded like it had a chance, but died out there, hit the base of the wall instead. So Lavin at second with 1 out. That's going to bring in Ryan Lee, who hit a home run last night, which at the time tied the game at 2. Of course, the game would go into extra innings and the Crabs would come out on top. Meeting out on the mound between Lombardi and Sandberg. Lee is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. One misses low. It's 1-1. One pitch, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Sandberg looks back at second a couple of times. A 1-2. Low and outside, it's 2-2. There's someone throwing in the Crabs bullpen. Sandberg spins around and looks Lavin back to second, who's been dancing around at second base. 2-2 is grounded foul into the Crabs dugout. Remains 2-2. Two pitch in the dirt. Count goes full. 3-2. Three-two pitch is a slow grounder to the shortstop McNeil, who's going to go to third and throw to Morris, who dropped the baseball, and everybody's going to be safe. Unbelievable. Elijah McNeil made a really heads-up play, threw over to third to Keenan Morris, who couldn't hold on to the ball. And now Robin Guyver is out to talk to the umpire. And I might be asking for the umpire to call in his coworkers and talk about it. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if Keenan Morris held on long enough for it to be considered a legal tag. And Chad Farrow is out to check on Keenan Morris, who's tying his shoe. And based on the reaction of the crowd, the call is going to be the same. So, fielder's choice, nobody out. It's first and third with one out. Well, that's tough. That's tough for the Crabs. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. I feel like Keenan could have held on long enough. Williams Jr. steps in, shows bunt, pitches a called strike, the throw down to second, and they got him. What a great throw from Nico Lombardi. And Lee is cut down at second. Two away. What a great play. What a great throw from Nico Lombardi. The Crabs defense really has shown up multiple times tonight. I think that pitch was a ball, so it's 1-0. 1-0 is low and outside. It's 2-0. This is low and inside. Now the scoreboard says, well, 2-1. So I think I was right initially. I don't know. Scoreboard has been having issues tonight. 3-1, I think. Nope, now it's 3-1. On our third, 2 outs. 3-1 to Brian Williams Jr. Three-one pitch. Oh, misses just up high. Ball 4. That didn't miss by a whole lot, according to TrackMan. I mean, looks like it even scraped a little part of the zone, but they'll make it first and third with 2 outs. Robin Guyver, the manager, now out to talk to Baylor Sandberg. And there is somebody ready in the bullpen. Crabs pitching coach Eric Ciccone is not here. He had to leave before the series in Lincoln because he had an engagement with his regular job that he could not get out of. But Eric, if you are watching, we do miss you out here. So when Robin Guyver goes out there, he is out there in his capacity as both the manager and pitching coach. All right, Ty McGraw will step in, first and third, 2 outs. Pitch to McGraw. And there for a called strike, it's 0-1. Baylor Sandberg trying to work out of some more trouble. A 1, check swing. Did he go? The appeal down to the base umpire, and he says he didn't go around, and the Crabs dugout is incensed. The Crabs dugout just exploded after that call was made. And I mean, I'm sitting right behind home plate, and even from here, it looked like he went around. The home plate umpire appealed to the base umpire, who's standing just to the right of second. 1-1 is a slow chopper to the right side, fielded by second at second, and throws to Sandberg, covering in time for the out. And a great job by the Crabs defense to get out of a tough situation here in the bottom of the 7th, and a ton of credit has to go to Baylor Sandberg, who has absolutely battled through 2 innings to keep this score at 5-2. As we head to the top of the 8th, you're listening to Cardiac Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln, top of the 8th inning. Score is 5-2 in favor of your Crabs. It will be Enyart, Howard, and Hirschkorn due up. And the pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. 0-1, misses outside, and it's 1-1. One swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. One, two, misses outside, and it's 2-2. Two-two pitch, fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. 2-2. 2-2 pitch misses outside. Count goes full, 3-2. Three-two swung on and missed, strike three. Nasty pitch from Warady.
And there's another rising.
One away.
Brought to you by the Rising Zone Center in Rockland.
It's going to bring in Tyler Howard.
Now batting number 17, right fielder Tyler Howard.
Pitch to Howard is a fly ball out to center field. Center fielder breaks back and then makes the catch. It's Brian Williams Jr., 2 away. Now bring in Houston Hirschkorn. All indications to me are that a new pitcher is going to come into the game for the Crabs in the 8th. We'll see who that is. I can't really tell who's throwing out in the bullpen from where I'm standing. But a great 2 innings from Baylor Sandberg. Only gave up 1 run, limited the damage, did a great job. Pressure situation too. Hirschkorn calls time. Pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. One pitch. This is way outside. Goes past the catcher. 1-1. Nobody on base. One pitch is a little looper out to the shortstop, Lee, who makes the catch. That's going to do it here on the top of the 8th. The Crabs still lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball. Humboldt's ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the 8th inning. Crabs lead the Potters by a score of 5-2. The new pitcher on the mound for the Crabs is number 34, Spencer Jacobs. And he pitched a great game. I believe it was Tuesday in Healdsburg. And the game was already kind of out of hand, but he really came in and calmed things down. Now he's tasked with a bit of a different situation, a 3-run lead. Trying to help deliver the series for the Crabs. Jacobs so far, this is 5th appearance, 10 innings pitched. Those 10 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts, a 2.7 ERA. Leading off will be Adam Paniagua. And the pitch misses up high, 1-0. When a pitch swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. I think Spencer Jacobs definitely deserves, after his appearance in Healdsburg, to be in this high leverage situation. 1-1, outside 2-1. Two-one pitch is popped foul and out of play. It's 2-2.
That's the ball brought to you by State Farm, and I'm Jason O'Day, your local State Farm agent. All of your insurance needs.
2-2 way inside. Crushes Paniagua off the plate a bit. Count goes full, 3-2. 3-2, a ground ball over the head of Jacobs to the second baseman who drops it, Sewell. And I would think that's going to be ruled a base hit for Paniagua. Really tough play for Cameron Sewell, deep in the hole behind second. That would have been a really tough play, even if he had held on. Well, bring in Braden Sharp. Pitch to Sharp is lashed foul into his own dugout. Down the first base line, it's 0-1. Scattering a few players. The 0-1 drops it right down the middle for a called strike. It's 0-2. Two in the dirt and gets away briefly from Lombardi, but he does a great job to jump back on it. 1-2. One, two, swung on and missed, strike 3. First base is occupied, so Sharp is out as the ball was dropped by the catcher Lombardi. One away. One on first. It's going to bring in Tristan Russell. Mr. Russell swung on and missed a filthy breaking ball from Spencer Jacobs. 0-1. A nice job by Lombardi to glove a ball that was way low and inside. 1-1. 1-1 pitch, grounded, diving stop by Hirschkorn, throw to second for 1, on to first, not in time, but a great play by the Crabs first baseman Houston Hirschkorn to dive on that baseball, and a great throw to second base from a really tough angle. Crabs have made a lot of great defensive plays so far tonight. Now we'll bring in Hanson. Pitch to Hanson. This is low 1-0. One zero, check swing, pitches outside, a fake throw down to first. We'll send Russell back. It's 2-0. Misses up high, it's 3-0. Right down the middle for a called strike. It's 3-1. In there for a called strike. It's 3-2. In the dirt ball 4. Hanson walks. Russell to second. And it will be Aiden Chang. First and second, 2 outs. And Nico Lombardi out to talk to Spencer Jacobs. And now manager and acting pitching coach Robin Guyver out to talk to Spencer Jacobs as well. Give me a chance to give you some scores from around the Pacific Empire League. The Healdsburg Poon Packers did pull out a win in extra innings at Recreation Park by a score of 5-4 over the West Coast Kings. And Medford Rogues currently lead the Solano Mudcats 17-7. No, wait, 20-7, top of the 8th. Got a football score up in Medford. Now the coach for the Potters is out to talk to Aiden Chang. The meeting between the Crabs pitcher and catcher is over. Now we're waiting on the meeting with the Potters coach and Aiden Chang to be over. That just wrapped up. Right, another pressure situation for a Crabs reliever tonight. First and second, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Crabs lead 5-2. Mr. Chang misses way outside, 1-0. Is a line drive. It's going to go past the shortstop up the middle for a base hit. 1 run is going to come around and score. And it is now 5-3. Hanson to second. So it's first and second, 2 outs. And Robin Guyver is going to go out and take Spencer Jacobs out of this game. So as the Crabs make the change, we're going to go back to the studio and thank some of our sponsors. You're listening to Humboldt Crabs Baseball, ESPN Radio 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Bottom of the 8th inning. Scores 5-3 in favor of the Crabs. Potters have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and coming in is one of the Crabs' best relievers, Caden Kohlberg, who was instrumental in the Crabs getting the win on Wednesday in Healdsburg, and really the guy that Robin Guyver turns to in the most high pressure of situations when the Crabs need to get a win late in a game. All right, it's going to be Jake Lavin to step in quickly. Kohlberg so far 6 games, 11 innings pitched. In those 11 innings, he's only given up 4 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 of those are earned. 10 walks, 15 strikeouts, 0.81 ERA. First pitch to Lavin. Low and inside, 1-0. Kohlberg also has 2 saves. One-0, misses inside, and it's 2-0.
That was 93.
2-0 is inside, and it's 3-0. And Caden Kohlberg needs to find the strike zone. 3-0 in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1.
That's still 93. Yeah. Let's see him hit 94. He's got to hit 94.
3-1, swung on and missed. 3-2. 94 miles per hour. First and second, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning. Crabs lead 5-3. 3-2 count to Jake Lavin. Pitch. Misses just up high, ball 4. Not by a lot. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And there's a reason why we call them the cardiac Crabs. This was never going to be easy. Hang on, folks. Doesn't get easier. Ryan Lee steps into the box, of course. Hit the 2-run homer last night that tied up the game at 2-2 at the time. First pitch to Lee. In there for a called strike, 0-1. One misses up high to the backstop and then goes right back to Lombardi, the catcher. 1-1. That pitch was so wild it actually worked out in the Crabs' favor. Hit the backstop very hard, bounced right back to Nico Lombardi. So it's 1-1. Bases remain loaded. One pitch way outside. It's 2-1. Two-one in the dirt, 3-1, and there's nowhere to put Ryan Lee. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Caden Kohlberg needs to throw a strike. Three-one pitch, fouled back. Count goes full, 3-2. Still nowhere to put Ryan Lee. Three-two. Outside ball 4. That walks in a run. And now it's 5-4. And we do have somebody throwing in the Crabs bullpen. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 8th. That'll bring in Brian Williams Jr. First pitch to Williams is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. A 1 pitch. And this is just up high. It's 1-1. One misses way up high, and it's 2-1. Caden Kohlberg has had some command issues tonight. That doesn't mean he can't throw a good pitch and get out of it right here. Two, 1. Low and outside, 3-1. Nowhere to put Brian Williams Jr., and Caden Kohlberg is in danger of walking in the tying run. And again, he's going to need to throw a strike. Elijah McNeil, the shortstop, now out to talk to Kohlberg. Yeah. 3-1. Inside ball 4, and this game is tied. Five, and Robin Guyver is forced to go out to the mound, and he's going to make another change. Tough outing for Caden Kohlberg. Unfortunately, and Caden Kohlberg is one of those relievers, you get 2 versions of him. The version where he's unhittable, and the version where he just struggles with his command, and unfortunately tonight, it was the latter. So as the Crabs make the pitching change, we are tied at 5, bottom of the 8th, bases loaded, 2 outs. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln, bottom of the 8th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Unfortunately, things did not go well for Caden Kohlberg on the mound, and this game is tied at 5. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 8th for the Potters, and now on the mound is Brock Lenhart out of College of the Redwoods. Lenhart so far, this is his 4th game. 5 innings pitched. Those 5 innings, he's given up 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked 2, struck out 9 with a 3.60 ERA, and he is tasked with keeping this ball game tied. And Ty McGraw will step in. No, by the way, the stats show here that Ty McGraw on the season is batting .468 with 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. Lenhart steps off, and now Nico Lombardi is going to go out to talk to his pitcher. You look at the recent history here at McBean. I talked a lot about it last night. The Crabs have not had good luck with a late lead here at McBean Stadium. They didn't have a lead until the top of the 10th last night, so that doesn't really count. I mean, aside from the 2-0 lead they had early. Hopefully they can reverse it here tonight. Pitch to McGraw. Misses outside, 1-0. Misses up high, and it's 2-0. Nowhere to put Ty McGraw. And time is called. And a balk's been called on Brock Lenhart. Unbelievable. That's going to bring in the go-ahead run, and Robin Guyver is out to the third base umpire, and he is upset. Unbelievable. And Robin Guyver is incensed. 6'5" Potters. Unbelievable. Makes it 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. (2-0). High fly ball down the left field line. Left fielder racing over to the wall. He falls down and he drops it. He drops it. 2 runs are going to score. 8-5 Potters, and things have completely fallen apart for the Crabs. And hopefully Sutter Moss is okay out there. It looked like he hit the wall pretty hard. Well, the demons of McBean Stadium continue to haunt the Crabs. Six runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Adam Peniagua will step in. Peniagua swung on and missed, 0-1. Misses outside, and it's 1-1. Two games last season where the Crabs had a lead going into the 9th and lost the game, and now tonight, 6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th for the Potters. Pitches outside, 2-1. They had a 5-2 lead coming into the bottom of the 8th inning. And things just completely have fallen apart. Two one, misses outside, 3-1. Three one in there for a called strike. It's 3-2. Three-two pitch, swung on and missed, strike three. But a devastating inning for the Crabs. They gave up 6 runs. And now the Potters lead 8-5. Last chance for the Crabs as we head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM. Welcome back to Lincoln. Top of the 9th inning, the Potters got 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Now they lead it 8-5. Last chance for the Crabs. New pitcher on the mound for the Potters. I think it's number 26, Eric Vassar. All right. Sutter Moss will lead it off, followed by Elijah McNeil and Nico Lombardi.
Number 6, left fielder, Sutter Moss.
Well, look, the silver lining is that the Crabs have already done better here at McBean than they did last year. But that doesn't take away from the sting of tonight's game if they do, in fact, lose. Pitch to Moss, swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Vassar steps off. One dropped right in there for a called strike. It's 0-2.
I gotta have more cowbell.
0-2 misses up high. And it's 1-2. One, two. This is low and inside, and it's 2-2. Two, a sharp ground ball to the second baseman, who throws over to first. That's Russell. One away. We'll bring in Elijah McNeil.
Now batting for the Crabs, number 1, Elijah McNeil.
First pitch to McNeil. Up high, 1-0. Is popped up. Shallow right field. Racing in is the right fielder, Lavin, to make the catch. 2 away. Crabs down to their last out. That'll bring in Nico Lombardi.
Now batting for the Crabs, number 28, catcher Nico Lombardi.
Lombardi right down the middle for a called strike. It's 0-1. A 1 pitch, ground ball right to the shortstop. Throw over to first, and that's the ball game. This one's going to hurt. Crabs fall 8-5. They had a 5-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th. And the Potters scored 6 runs. But Crabs still have a chance to take the series tomorrow. Big thanks to Tyler back in the studio for coming in on his Saturday to work the board. That's always appreciated. We'll be back at you tomorrow, 6:05, for the final game of this series. This has been Crabs Baseball, ESPN 107.3 FM. Good night, everyone.